All right. Good morning. I think I got this thing all fixed up and sorted out. So I hope I did. If you're on, you're streaming with us, you're watching live, you're tuning in live, there's something I want to give to you, I want to share with you that I believe is going to help your life, change your perspective. I want to give you an opportunity to log on, tune in, share, hit the video, hear our commentary, chime in, weigh in. I want to be able to see each and every interaction, engagement that's going on with us live on YouTube this morning, which is where we're streaming from, broadcasting from, whatever time zone you might be in. Thank you for tuning in with us. If you're watching us on your television screen, watching through your app, through your phone, iPad, whatever other doodad you might be coming through or coming from, thank you so much for tuning in with us. I want to quickly go to the message I got to drop and give to you guys today that I believe is going to change and shift your life. We are building, we're in the process of building, and everything is being built from the ground up. And I think one of the most beautiful things about building from the ground up is everyone has a chance to see what all goes into making things work that are supposed to work. This is something I believe is supposed to work. And you get to see all of the grassroots changes, technical difficulties, bloopers, croupers and noopers, all of the other things that go into making something successful become successful. It's like in the morning before you put your makeup on, you get a raw face. This is our raw face. So thank you for those that are on YouTube, that are watching us, that are subscribed to us, that are sharing, that are going with us through the process as we learn these different apps. There are so many of them to help us do what we need to do more efficiently and more effectively. I'm going to go to my scripture because I want to talk about this with you. See that blooper? I want to talk about this to you or with you because I believe this is going to really help give some answers. You'll hear this broadcast again, probably on our podcast or somewhere else. You may hear it, but this is one of those messages that I hope you'll never forget. Proverbs 18, verse 16 says these words. And I'm going to read this from the NIV translation. NIV says, man's gift opens the way and ushers him into the presence of the great. I'll say it again. A man's gift opens the way and ushers him into the presence of the great. Your other translation might say Proverbs 18:16, that your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. And so when you're looking at that scripture, you're looking at that Proverbs 18:36, how this opens up and how this develops into something more tremendous for you is when you look at Proverbs 18 and 16, this is Solomon's writing. His writing is trying to teach you how to effectively use or operate within your gift or within your purpose. One of the challenges with gifted parties, you think that because we're gifted or because you have a gift, an ability or talent, that there are those that might see that, notice it, and automatically things are going to happen because you're gifted, because you're talented, because you have certain abilities, because you have certain achievements, accomplishments. And that's not what Proverbs 18 and 16 means. This is the king, the man with more wisdom than had ever been given or deposited into any one man. So much so until afterwards, God said, I'll never give anyone this much of an impartation again. When he writes about your gift making room for you, this is not about your gift, talent, or your ability. Proverbs 18:16 is really talking about your seed or your offering. When he says your gift will make room for you, he's saying to you, not your talent or ability, but your offering, your ability to invest. What you sow or how you sow is what he's saying. Your gift is what is going to get you into the room. NIV translation says, a man's gift opens the way and ushers him into the presence of the great. What Solomon's really talking about, he's not talking about your gift, talent, and ability. He's talking about the manners that are associated with your gifts, talents, and abilities. So he's teaching gifted people not to be takers. You could be so gifted that you have this expectation of entitlement that this is supposed to happen based upon these gifts. And that's not what Proverbs is teaching. What he's saying to you is, if you really want to get your gift to go into another space, learn how to become an investor. Invest into the space that you want. And he's teaching in this proverb that in order to get in certain spaces, what is hindering your ability to move into certain rooms is your inability to be a giver. And this is what he's talking about here. So what he was saying to him is your gift, all right, it's going to bring you before great men, or it's going to give you the access. One of the reasons that we have our access is limited is because our gifts are limited. We are looking for what we can get versus what we can give. So many times opportunities are shortened or not given because we don't know how to give, or how to give an expression or be an expression in a room that says, I want to contribute to the place that I need this access from. And so Proverbs, he says, a man's gift, or in the NLV translation, let me read this to you. He said, giving, this is a gift that opens doors. So NLV says that giving a gift can open doors. It gives access to important people. This doesn't mean that you're not important. This doesn't mean that you cannot be important. This doesn't mean that your service, your gift, or your offerings are not important. What it is saying is there are persons and parties that cannot hear you until they see your gift, until they experience your gift. What have you come to give? There are many times environments that are open, that are given so that parties can come together for meeting, to socialize, whatever it is that they have going on. And when those parties come in, you can be invited, and you can be invited to eat, you can be invited to drink, you can be invited to socialize. But out of all of those invitees and out of all the parties that are on there, there'll be very few, oftentimes, that come to give anything, to contribute to a setting or to a room that was really created with the guests in mind. The guest that comes with a gift is the guest that's going to be most recognized, because the guest says, I realize all of the things that go into setting up this type of room, this caliber of room, this type of space. And so to show myself appreciative for the space, I want to bring something, plates or forks or napkins, something that I can give to contribute, even if what I'm trying to give is not something that the host wants. It's important for you to get that level of access and for you to remain exclusive in a room full of other gifted people just like you. Gifts are going to be important. You can't sit around and say, why haven't they seen me? Why haven't they noticed? Because you're just a gift. He says your gift is going to make room. What the gift does, or sowing or seeding or investing into these spaces that you expect to be a staple on, to be a part of, your investment is going to be pivotal to your next tier of success. How I sow, how I contribute into me. You can't just show up and say I'm a gift. How have you contributed to the environment? Have you got your hair done? Are your nails together? Are your eyes together? Have you groomed yourself for the space or the place that you want to go? All of the things that support your gift, there are other gifts as well too. So your dominant gift, your main gift, is going to be supported by all of the other giftings and offerings that help support what it is that you do well. You could be a great gift, but have all of the other parts, all of the other spaces not polished, not together. And so no one hears your main gift because the other parts are not together. They're not in fashion. What an investment does, it gives you access to different people that'll say, that's great, this is not. So what it actually ties you into, it ties you into a community that speaks into, that funds into, fuels into, pours into, shares into all of those necessary components to help make sure that when your gift is at its peak performance level, that all of the other parts of you are not left lagging behind. You are a total image, a total package, a full picture. It is picturesque, it is together. It's not strong in one area and weak in all the other spaces because you were promoted without being processed. What gifting does, it helps to teach you. It helps to show you, lead you, guide you into all of the languages and communications that are necessary for you to be successful in the rooms that you and your gift believe you belong in. So when he talks about your gift, he said it will bring you into this space. This is an investment. He says a man's gift is going to open up the way or open up the room. Thank you for those who are sharing. I want to hope that this is really great for you. What he was saying to him is, when you're going in, thank you. I see you, Lula Rowe. Oh, I see the comments. God bless you, Erica McCarter. I'm seeing your comments. God bless you, Erica. God bless you, Angela. I'm reading over here. So good. I get to see you guys. I'm learning all of this stuff. It's really like super cool. What your gift does, your gift gives you the opportunity to present another side of you that would not have been seen if only we saw your gift. So Proverbs 18:16, not only will it open up the way, but the NIV says it will open up the way. And then it says it's going to usher you Anybody that's ever been ushered, this is where you would have sat without my assistance, without my instruction, without my expertise, without my own personal knowledge of how this unit or how this system works. What he says that your gift is going to do, your gift is going to become your usher. If you give me $5 and I say, thank you for your $5, and you come in and you give me a $5 gift, then I'm going to put this $5 gift right here. Thank you for your $5 gift. Someone that gives you a $5,000 gift, you're not going to treat them like someone who gave you a $5 gift. And so what he was saying to you is your gift, whatever your gift is, where your gift comes from, this is going to be your usher. There are those that will come into your life and into your space and will want all of your time, your energy, your interest for free or for cheap. And when those parties come into your life and into your space, it may seem as if you're being disregarding towards them, and it's not really the case. The challenge is when you have other parties that show you that they are truly vested in your space or in what it is that you're doing, then they're going to show you in how they give. The Bible says that you want to follow a man's heart, because out of the abundance of the heart, a man's mouth speaks, but also you can also tell where man is, because if he loves, or heart, out of the abundance of their heart, you're going to find also that hearts and treasures are interconnected. You can't say you love and then there's no treasure to follow that love. All right. So when you're looking at a man's heart, a heart is always a good immediate, or how a person gives is a eye opener into how a person feels and how or where a person is within their heart. And so there's a connection between hand and heart. What Proverbs 18:16 says is you can be greatly gifted, but at some point with your great gifts, you have to do something with your hands besides say, look at me. So when he was talking here about the gift that's coming in and this gift that's making room or that's making space, how you give or how you contribute, how you invest is going to show whether or not you belong in the spaces you claim that you may belong in. And it doesn't have to mean that it's about the amount more so than it is about the intent. Gifted people many times are stubborn or selfish because you can think that because I'm gifted, everything evolves or centers around the gift that I'm presenting. Proverbs 18:36 from King Solomon is very different. He says, if you want to contribute to this process and be brought before great men, then it's going to be pivotal to you that you're going to have to open up your own way. You become your own usher with your gift. That's powerful. Can somebody hashtag that? You become your own usher with your gift. If you don't gift, you cannot be ushered anywhere. Why am I not moving? Why am I not going anywhere? Well, what have you sold to? What have you contributed to? And what have you not sown to? These messages and these lessons are going to show me how and where you are in proximity with your gift and with your gift offerings and with opportunities that are going, because all of this is intra-connected. All right. And you're welcome. This advice, this information, this tutorial, this scripture is all a plug-in. If doors aren't opening, you want to ask yourself and look and say, if doors aren't opening, what have I not given? And or have I just been labeled as a taker? If you're not giving, after a while, you become a taker. And after a while, people don't want takers around. It's cool for a minute. It's cool for a day. It's cool for a week. But sooner or later, eyes open and they say, I've done all of this. I've provided all of this. And all I've attracted is takers. Some of you that are watching this broadcast this morning, you continuously attract takers, takers, takers. The more you give, the more they take. And the more you give and the greater that you give, it seems like they're taking smaller and smaller things, because takers have to have boundaries. If you don't give takers boundaries, they'll never have them, because a taker is going to constantly take, receive as much as possible because it's not in them to give. Doesn't necessarily even mean that they're selfish. It means there's a pattern, a pathology here. Your pathology for giving is just as strong as their pathology for taking or receiving. And in order to break that, boundaries have to be established. What the king does is trying to speak to people that are leaders in Proverbs 18 and 16 rather. He's teaching them, if you want to continue to be invited, then what you need to do is to break the stigma of being a taker off of you and show yourself as a giver, a gifted giver, gifted givers. He goes on and he says it's going to open up the way for you and usher you into the presence of the great. Now, why is this important? There are many times you have people saying, I want to change my circle, or I want to go in this direction. and you end up being stuck with persons and parties that are just like the last set you left. If I'm changing and going back into the same type people, same script, different cast, then there's something that's happening with me that's making me attract a party person's similarities. There's something within me that has to be broken in order for me to take what I do and who I am and what I have into the next level, to the next place. And so in order to do that, I have to break off what I'm attracting or how I'm attracting these different individuals or parties into my space, attaching themselves to my gifts or to my offerings, etc. But I need to be connected with great people. Can somebody hashtag that if you're writing, if you're watching? Hashtag great men, great people, all right? I need to be connected with great people. This has to be intentional. This isn't something that you just willy-nilly walk into or try. You have to change your entire circle, your entire community. And part of the way that you change that is going to begin with you. If I want to be in a space and a place in my life, in my spirit right now, where everything I do is going to be great, I need to make sure I'm contributing to an environment that supports the greatness that I'm seeing in my spirit now. Every commercial that God has shown you in your spirit, and I'm using the word commercial because that's one of my favorite words to use when I make reference to how God shows you a thing, or when God is giving you a vision or image of something. He always gives you a commercial, a sneak preview, if you will, before you go to a main attraction or coming attraction. You're able to get a commercial, a view in, to say, this is something worth me watching. This is something I want to stick to. I've got to see this when it comes out. This is what God does to you in like manner. Whenever God gives you a vision or a dream or an appetite or an assignment, before he ever gives the main attraction, he always gives you a commercial, a sneak preview. He shows you what's getting ready to happen, what's getting ready to come. And many of you have been getting sneak previews and commercials before multitudes of people, all of these numbers, all of these people, all of this diversity, all of these countries, all of these languages, and nothing that you're seeing matches the commercial that God keeps showing you. And if God hadn't taken the commercial, the desire, or the vision out of you, that is because he's still going to do it. The challenge becomes plugging into a network of greatness that helps me to get to what I'm dreaming in my spirit. Because if I'm seeing what I'm seeing in the natural and it doesn't match what I'm seeing in the commercial that's viewing here, then something desperately and drastically has to change. Proverbs 18 and 16, it helps to break poverty off of currency, off of the currencies attached to people that are with you. All right. Some of you have a currency of people. You don't have high currency of money, but you have high currency of people. And what giving does is it brings you into a whole nother sphere of people. Your economy and people are about to increase. Can someone just write that in the comment section while I'm watching? Your economy and people are about to change. And what does that mean? What this means is some of you will not necessarily gain the money, but you're going to gain the people. You'll gain the resources. Parties that are able to sow resources, gifts, abilities into your space, into your life to help contribute to that greatness. You'd be surprised how putting a 20 here, 25 there, sowing a seed here is going to turn around into resources you can leverage and use later for the space that you're going to need it in, because your resource and your revenue and people is going to build. Before the money comes, the people have to come. The people are going to be there to put in place, to say that's such and such. I know them. I recall them. I remember. It might have been from the 80s or from the 90s. You know, they gave me a ride to the Metro stop. They bought my Starbucks coffee. All of those different things come into play when you're going to be around for a long time, like David, King David. And I'm getting ready to go because I'm in 18 minutes in. King David, long before he ever became king, he had revenue with people. He was living in caves, going crazy, running from javelins and darts and spears because great men were trying to kill him. And all he was a little shepherd boy in recovery, trying to get to a seat God showed him a commercial for. And all through that process, everyone and everything is trying to kill him, namely kings. I'm not going to try to go there because I can talk. But some of you are under attack from kings because of where you're going, because of the commercial God showed you in your spirit. And even saw Proverbs 30, 18 and 16 that we read. It's really showing you a culture. Whenever you come in, find out, what can I do to give? How can I contribute? Because what it does is one gift help neutralize the other. You're so great, anointed, powerful, skilled, capable, talented. You have the ability. When you walk into a space, be clear. There are people that want to kill you for things that have nothing to do with you, period. If you watch the broadcast on Cain and Abel, case in point, they will do everything in their power to either kill you or to kill your influence in spaces that you would succeed, that you thrive, bless people, help people, encourage other individuals. And because of that, you constantly have to be clear and aware that there are other contributions that you need to make in those spaces to create communities that will help you stay alive. Jonathan and David's relationship was so essential because his father, Jonathan's father, was trying to kill David. God will let you partner up with the sons and daughters of people trying to kill you and will keep you constantly in awareness of what's going on to try to hinder where your giftings really could go. I'm getting ready to leave, and I want to do some edits on this, but for those of you that are watching, that are tuned in, that are sharing this video, that will go share it to people that are individually going to be watching on YouTube, I don't want this to just randomly go out to everyone. I want it to specifically go out to those who you know are gifted. I want you to think about it. This is how you're going to evangelize. We're doing ministry in a different way. Sunday morning, enjoying Jesus. But I want you to think about gifted people you know. They don't know why doors aren't opening. They're not clear why things shut down. They need to understand and know the reason that accesses will be shut is because your hands are shut off. When you shut your hands off, you shut your accesses off. And so I want them to hear this message, and I want them to become investors into the spaces that they believe God is calling them to. Invest in your attire, invest in wardrobe, invest in relationships, invest by sowing seed, invest by going, invest by showing up, not just being gifted, staying home, saying no one called or no one reached out or no one knows. You have to be seen in certain spaces. Don't allow isolation to kill what's left of a growing, developing, evolving, fruitful you. You have to come out, just like David did. Kings are throwing javelins, but I have to come out. I don't know why there are attacks being made against me, but I have to come out. I want to break that spirit of isolation that has you stuck in your house, stuck in your job, stuck in your chair, stuck at the bar, stuck eating, stuck doing things that are unhealthy towards you because you're too gifted and you don't understand why you're that gifted and that obscure. Proverbs 18:16. I want you to read it. I want you to share this with them and let them get in their spirit that this new space and that this new designation is going to be opened up by them realizing you are the gift that's going to usher you into your next space. For those of you that are even asking how you're giving and how you want to sow, if you want to sow a seed today, I fully, wholeheartedly support and encourage that you do that, whether that be $20, $5, $10. That's something that you want to do to say thank you for the message, the time that has been invested in and shared this morning. By giving me this message is going to change my life, not my life and my soul and my spirit particularly, but how I am received and or if and where I can be or will be received. Giving is going to be your next plug into the space and the people that you've seen in your spirit. Doesn't have to be a lot, but it does have to be something. I want you to leave with this. Your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. I'm getting ready to go. I want to see that hashtag run and you're welcome. So if you're here, I want to do a prayer for those of you that are getting ready to go into these different spaces and your gifts. It was important for me to tell you this message this way because you're getting ready to go in and enter into some new rooms, new spaces, new territories. And I don't want the things to happen to you in new rooms that happen to you in old rooms. This is going to prepare you for imminent success, So thank you. I hope these messages have helped you. You're going to get more wisdom on Sunday mornings than anything else. Not a whole ear hole, unless I'm somewhere live preaching. Thank each and every one of you for what you shared. God bless you, Charlotte Scott. I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you here. Make sure you guys hashtag I'm seeing the fire. You are here live with me on Wake the Hell Up. I have some announcements I'll be making throughout the course of this week coming. You will be seeing more of me. There's some things that I have to share with you this time so you will understand all of the transitions and you guys get to ride with me from day one all the way until. So thank you guys for those of you who are with us doing the groundworks, the grassroots of YouTube and the other apps that we're going to be on, we're going to make a lot of mistakes. Prepare ye for them. I'm looking forward to them. We're going to make a lot of mistakes in our building. We're going to make mistakes in our growing, in our development. And so if you're not a person that could work through developments, come back in a few months. But if you're a person that needs all of this, or if you're a builder and there's some things you need to work through, do not be afraid to do what you need to do to grow through the places you need to grow through. Those that are assigned to you in the beginning, they'll remember how you started, and it'll become great conversation pieces later. So thank each and every one of you that are working with us as we work through each and every part of what we're called to work through. We are getting ready to go into greater rooms with greater people by way of our gift. We are that gift. Thank you, each and every one of you. Good morning, and you're welcome. I see you, Charlotte. I see you, Lula Rowe, if I'm saying that right. Angela Diane, God bless you. Understanding the Kingdom of God. Is that Elder Powell? God bless you, Elder. Welcome. Thank you. Send these messages. I'm getting ready to end this broadcast. I'm going to figure out how to do a little more doodads on here. We'll share it. We'll publish it. Thank you so much. Valerie, God bless you. I see you. Hello, hello, hello. God bless you, and goodbye, everyone.